Welcome back to the No Cut Sports Podcast with your host, Niall Frazier. And today we got a few things we need to talk about, but before we get started, could you please like, comment, and subscribe to always catch this vibe, man? Y'all already know. So, with that being said, as y'all know, it's been a few weeks since I made a video. The Eagles took a bye week, and so did I. I kind of just needed a break, man, just to recharge up. A lot going on right now. Nothing crazy, but, work is life, you know what I'm saying? Nothing to complain about, but, just happy to be here. So, with that being said, man, got some things coming for y'all. I'm trying to get my grandpa on here. Now, if some of y'all know me from where I'm from, so y'all know about Wild West. But I'm trying to get my grandpa on here and have him talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. So be expecting that within the next couple of weeks. But me and Mr. Reggie too. Mr. Reggie got his schedule down pat, and it's not his fault that we ain't did the Mean Green podcast. It's more or less my fault, man. Because like I said, I just needed to charge up, man. So I'm back. I'm ready to go. Ready to talk about the birds. And they're giving us a lot to talk about too at that. So let's just get into what we need to talk about, man. A few things. Like I said, I ain't been here, but we did end up beating the Browns by 4 points. I'm still kind of concerned about this. Well, I ain't gonna say kinda. I am concerned about the offense, man, because I feel like the offense. Like I know how we were talking. People were saying Jalen Hurts was regressing as a player, which I mean, who knows? It could be a possibility. I don't think so, but I feel like this team offensively is regressing, man. To have the type of talent that we have and not being able to utilize it the way we should. I just feel like it's not enough creativity on the offensive side. First quarter we can't score, which is crazy to me, especially when you got all your weapons out there. And now, with that being said, A.J. Brown just came back last week. So, he's been gone since week one. I understand that. Smitty concussion, had the bye week, so he didn't get the, so he had some time off too as well. Shout out to Jim Schwartz, won a Super Bowl with us, but he is the Browns DC, pretty good DC, man. I think the Browns defense was like top 5, or is top 5, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. So, shout out to Jim Schwartz, taking away Saquon. Things like that, but Jalen Hurts, he spread the ball around pretty good, man. I like what I saw. No turnovers, no fumbles, so no interceptions, anything like that. So I like to see what I'm seeing from Hurts, but the offense is still, as Lane Johnson will put it, constipated. Excuse me. Now, I don't really understand. Like I said, I really don't understand why, because I sit here and I watch the lines. I sit here and I even watch the 49ers with Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy and things like that. And I see what they do on offense, man. And I'm like, why don't we look like that? We look like a high school football team. And shout out to my Trojans too, man. But, yeah, we look like a high school football team, man. That's not the type of offense that's going to win us games in this league, or a college offense, whatever you want to call it, man. But it doesn't look like a complex offense that is being run that I thought we were going to get from Kellen Moore, excuse me. They talked about Nick Sirianni had a press conference today, and they had asked him, what do you think is the problem why y'all can't score in the first quarter, or the offense? I think it was more or less what the offense looking like. Still looks like his offense or Kellen Moore's offense with a mix here, mix there, and he just gave some roundabout answer. But he's right though. The reporter is actually right. I see things. They looked at route trees, which is fine too. Like I understand, because it's two sides to it. People are like, well, these are the plays renting up, they have to execute, but at the same time, don't you feel like they can draw something up? I've seen them do slant plays right over the middle to AJ or a play or something like that and get a lot of yards after the catch, and they don't utilize that. They feel like going deep for everything, which is fine when you got AJ Brown and Smitty out there. I trust them guys with them types of plays here and there, but to have a offense that is continuously moving, you can see the little spurts here, the little spurts there, but then you see the dead zones too as well, and it's been happening too often. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but I hope that Nick Sirianni, if he has, because now I really want to be careful about what I'm even talking about, because it's so many. It's more or less at this point, it's more of an organizational problem, because if the organization didn't like what they were seeing, I'm for sure they're sitting there saying something to Nick Sirianni or whoever, or offensive coordinator, whatever the case may be. The only person I ever hear them say something and then do something after is Vic Fangio. You see him put Coop DeVille. I call Coop DeJean Coop DeVille, but they put Coop DeVille in, and Coop DeVille was killing it, man. They took Maddox out, which we were happy to have, or happy to see, for the simple fact that now we got somebody in there that knows how to tackle. His situational awareness is very good, at least for the portion that I saw, man. Him and Quinyon work so well together. Like I seen a couple of plays was the all 22s. I was watching a couple of plays on the all 22s for Cooper DeJean, and I can't remember the guy that put him up, but shout out to him, man. But watching the all 22s, and I'm just watching Cooper, I'm watching Quinyon. I'm watching even Darius Slay had a couple of plays out there before he went out, and I'm like, man, if this defense can just get it together. They played up closer this week, so it looked a little bit better. Hopefully, they keep adapting week to week. But that is the only thing I ever see. I hear the offensive players or the offensive coaches go out there and say, oh, we're going to do this, or we're trying to do this, or we're trying to do that. Vic Fangio, you give Vic a week or 2 weeks, that defense was out there. And like, it still needs work, don't get me wrong, but for this for the scheme to be the way that it is, they looked pretty good this past week. So I'm not going to complain about that. The biggest thing with me right now is the offense. So I want to see like because even today in the press conference that Nick was talking about, he talked about players' skill sets, right? And he named Jalen Hurts, and like I said, well, I didn't say it in this video. Let me slow down. I did make another video and I had to stop because something happened. But there was a video that Kurt Warner had did, right, talking about the offense being catered to Jalen Hurts because of a limited skill set that he has. Now, all due respect, every player has limitations to their game, but I feel like the Eagles aren't building around Jalen Hurts. I don't want to say building around, but catering the offense to him. But today, I hear Nick Sirianni say that Jalen Hurts has full autonomy at the line to call whatever play he wants, checking in and out of audibles, whatever the case is. So I'm trying to wrap my mind around what is going on here. What is going on here? Because if the first 15 players or the first, whatever, the first quarter plays are scripted, is Jalen scripting them? Like, who's game planning these plays that they're not working? Because I don't think you want to keep throwing and not running the ball to begin the game. To me, that just didn't make sense. So, it is what it is, but it's some type of disconnect somewhere when it comes to this offense. And you're not going to sit there and tell me it's not, because from 2022, yeah, we had, Super Bowl. And then we move on to the next year to start off 10-1. But that 10-1 was very, very shaky, boy. We was barely winning them games. And shout out to Clutch Jalen, because some of them games we won by the skin of our teeth, Jake Elliott, whatever the case may be. And then you go on the landslide at the end of the season, right, of last season. Now you're, 3-2? You feel what I'm saying? You might be, 4-1? Whatever the case may be, 4-1. They keep saying Saquon caught the ball. That's neither here nor there, because my thing is we was still getting spanked in that game, and it was still early in the season, so I understand. But my thing is this: it's still the offense is not performing the way. It's like getting worse and worse. They're not even scoring as many points as they used to. I think the highest scoring game they had this year was when they went to Brazil. And since then, it's been like under 20, if I'm not mistaken, or like 23. I can't remember the numbers, but my whole thing is this, man. I need to see something, especially against the Giants with their players being out, man. Let me just read this off to y'all right quick off my PFF app, but we got Dexter Lawrence out. I don't want to say out, but Dexter Lawrence is questionable with a leg injury. They had Brian Burns out with a groin. He's questionable. Andrew Thomas, he's out indefinitely. He's on IR. Slayton was questionable with a groin. Excuse me. Singletary was questionable with a groin, and then Ford Wheaton was questionable with a arm injury. And for the Eagles, Covey, of course, is out. He's on IR, but then Goddard, I always say his last name wrong. Goddard, tight end for the Eagles, he's questionable with a leg injury. Cornerback Slay, he's still questionable, so we might see more Quinyon and Mitchell out there this upcoming upcoming game, excuse me. And then Williams is out with a leg, so not out, but questionable with a leg. I don't want to say out just yet. So I think those questionable guys might be playing for the Eagles, but like I said, the New York Giants got a pretty good defense, man, right? So not the best, but I'm hoping to see Saquon Barkley go off. Now, I want them to be careful because they know that this field it's not a good field. Mekhi Becton came out and already said that the field is a piece of you-know-what. So I'm not going to elaborate too much more on that, but we know last year we did take some key injuries. The Sidney Brown, I think A.J. Brown too got hurt that game, and I think somebody else did too. If I can't remember, but a couple of players got hurt in that last game that we had in the regular season against the Giants, and then it led to that Tampa Bay game where we only scored 9 points. And it's crazy, man. But no need to dwell and reflect on that. I just think that going into this game, like I just want to see them run the ball. I want to see them spread the ball around. It's nice having Smitty. It's nice having AJ Brown and things like that. But I like how they involved Dotson last week. Hopefully he gets more involved, because if all three of those guys can get to going, Dotson ain't got to be no superstar. He just got to catch the ball when it's his time, man. And the same thing with AJ and those guys. But I think if we lean more on our running game, and I don't want to get too crazy because, like I said, use some of your other players. Like, we ain't really seen too much of Will Shipley and guys like that. So use some of them guys, mix them in Kenneth Gainwell, because you still want to preserve these players because they know. And if Nick going to this game not thinking that, it just lets me know, like, it's like, bro, come on, man. That's awareness, man. That's awareness that you got to have going into this game, especially what happened to your players last year. So, and this is our stretch. This is the stretch where we can try and win, hopefully win all 4 of these games that we got coming up, because Cincinnati ain't playing too well. Offensively, they're good, but their defense is not worth what. So, yeah, man. But going into this game, like I said, I want to see them running the ball more, or just more some motion, some creativity with the offense, man. Because it's like, I'm not really seeing it. Hopefully, the clean game from Jalen Hurts. He don't no turnovers and things like that. But hopefully they can figure out a way to score against this defense in the first quarter, or just get their footing on just getting this offense started earlier and faster. I just don't understand. And that's when you got to point your finger to Nick Sirianni, because he's the coach, or the coaches, however you want to classify it. The coaches are not getting these players prepared for the beginning of these games, man. For these plays to be scripted and them to come out here and not, what was it, like 22 yards of total offense, and this is week what? We going to week 7? That's crazy, man. That's crazy with the type of talent we got on this team, man. Crazy. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm hoping, man. I'm really hoping and praying that we can find our footing soon, man, and find our identity, whatever you want to do. But I can tell you what your identity need to be right now, and that's to run the ball with Saquon Barkley. If you run that ball, I'm trying to tell you, even if you're not getting, chunk yardage, it's still the threat of the run being there, man. And then Saquon is just one of those players that, and we've seen it a couple times this season, where he can just break off for a touchdown, 56-yard touchdown, whatever the case may be, the mesh route in the end zone. He can catch the ball too. Can't say that too crazy, because he dropped the ball when we needed him to catch it. But it is what it is, man. It's just, I just want to see a more creative offense, man. This offense looks so stagnant every week, and you thinking them coming out of the bye, they would be more prepared, and they just weren't. So I don't know, man, but this is the NFC East matchup. It's a rivalry game for us. It would be great for us to get this win and put us ahead. I think that would make us first in the division, record-wise, if I'm not mistaken. I should probably look that up, but it's okay. Correct me if I'm wrong. We can have a little interaction in the comments. But yeah, man, I just think, especially even with this, and I think that whole Nick Sirianni situation was just a way to negate the fact that this offense is still stagnant. This offense isn't looking like what it need to be. I didn't want to talk too much about Nick Sirianni, because that's Nick Sirianni, man. That's who he's been. Y'all remember the press conference? That's who he's been, man. So we knew who we were getting. We can't complain about that. I know I go off on my tangents during the game. That's why I don't really go live, because I say a lot of craziness and I be mad, because it's a game, man. I'm not that tight about a lot of the stuff that they do. Now, when Darius Slay do what he do, I don't like him politicking with the enemy during the season. So, but hopefully everything's cool with that situation. But I don't know, man. I also want to talk about the trade rumors. I know they were talking about Khalil Mack. They were talking about maybe Myles Garrett, but who knows? I know they also got, just some talks about, they were like wide receiver talks too. And I'm like, I don't even know why we would even do that. I know Devontae Adams going to the the other New York team, the Jets, but going to the Jets, and then you get Amari Cooper going to the Bills. Teams are trying to, move some pieces around, because they're starting to see, who's buying and who's selling, because every team not gonna make it to the playoffs or the Super Bowl. So if you can get, some bang for your buck with these players, you're starting to see it. So do the Eagles try and go out and get some edge help? Bryce Huff did play pretty well. I don't want to say pretty well, but better. He played better than his last. I mean, and it was only up from there because he had 0 stats, but they had him in the stance. I know we talked about Baldy saying that he didn't play up or standing the way he does now, and him being in was a 3-point, 2-point, 3-point stance, 4-point stance, one of the two. But him being in that stance, because he's explosive off the line, helps him get better leverage on getting around these offensive players. So he played better. But Cooper DeJean, man, with them putting Maddox on the bench, man, he played very, very well. And I kind of already knew, but he played very, very well, man. So I'm hoping that they keep these younger guys up in here. But some things got to change, man, and I think it just starts from upstairs on a philosophy type tip because, like right now, this is what we got. We got Nick Sirianni here. I don't see them firing Nick Sirianni no time soon. Honestly, I think this is what they want Nick to be. I feel like if it was a problem, and maybe him jarring with the fan, I know he came out in another press conference earlier this week and spoke about that, saying I wasn't right at him. And then the fan came out on Reddit talking about it was a great exchange and whatever the case may be, if it's real or if it's not real. But overall, I just want Nick just to Nick could do my whole thing with Nick Sirianni is this, bro. If you go on talk it, then walk it. You feel what I'm saying? If you go on be this, because they had many men playing. They had practice yesterday, and many men was playing. My man standing at attention like this, and I'm like, yo, this dude is a comedian. So, cool. And I really think Nick is a cool dude. You know what I'm saying, off the field, but at the same time, man, us fans, this is Philly, man. Like we trying to see something, man. We want to see something, and I think about, and correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know, did Andy Reid call the plays when he was here? If I'm not mistaken. Nevertheless, even if he wasn't calling the plays, just what he did. Just think about this. In the tenure of Andy Reid, he took us to 5 NFC championships. Now, did we win them? We only won the one to go to that Super Bowl. But my thing is this: in his tenure, he took us to 5 NFC championships. Now, of course, there's different times, different players, different things, circumstances, whatever the case may be. But I just want y'all to think about that. And then look what Andy Reid's doing right now with Patrick Mahomes, where they're still undefeated and they could possibly go for their 3rd Super Bowl. Just think about that. I like sometimes, and it's crazy for me to say, but I think the Eagles, and I know some of the things that they do now are from Andy Reid's tenure with them, but I really want them to really understand what they're missing here, because for this team to look the way that it does. And even on both sides of the ball, because I don't agree with this scheme, but like I said, at least Vic Fangio is adapting week to week to what he needs to do. You feel what I'm saying? He's not keeping it the same. The offense though is not changing in my eyes, man. Maybe they're adding a little flavor here and there, a little spice and nice, but I'm not seeing what I thought I was going to see with the motion. Because when I was talking about motion, I'm talking about motion where you got the player in motion right before the snap, and they already got they're already moving, so it's easy for you to hit them. You're already in a rhythm, you know what I mean? So, and then motion too at the line where you moving players around, seeing if the defender reacts to man to man or if it's zone coverage, whatever the case may be. But that's what I was looking for, and I'm not really seeing it now. If it's something that Hurts can't do because they're saying that he can't read defenses and things like that, it is what it is, but I gotta see something, man. If we come out here and we stinking up with the Giants, it's gonna be. I think it'd be way worse. And of course, we expect to win, but it's gonna be way worse if we lose this game and if we lose it terribly, because just what's been going on. People calling for Nick Sirianni's job, and I done said it too. I ain't gonna lie, because it's my thing is this: move him upstairs or something like that, and just to have have Kellen Moore call this offense, because all the fans really want to know is what's going on, man. Whose plays are these and who's calling the plays? Because it looks like 2 different offenses. It's crazy that we can't get started in the first quarter, man. It's crazy, or literally the first half. It'd be hard for us just to get that first half for us to get something going. And then it's when we got our tail stuck between our legs, we just pull something out of a hat. And it can't be like that. We should be trampling over teams, man. All due respect, we should be trampling over teams with the talent that we got. Like I said, sitting here watching the Lions, I watched the 49ers, watch Baltimore, I watch the Bills. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching these different teams. I'm like, man, look at what they doing with lesser talent. With lesser talent, in my eyes, we got to be better. So, hopefully we come out of here with a dub, Daniel Jones ain't the best quarterback, but it could be his day. So hopefully, like I said, Jalen go up in here and keep it clean like he did last week. This team has a way better start in the first quarter and throughout the game, man. I just want them to see him put up points like we used to back in the day. But listen, man, you already know. It's your boy Nah from the No Cut Sports Podcast. I appreciate y'all still watching, still tuning in. I know it's been a while, but your boy back. I'm going to reach out to Mr. Reggie. I got to actually respond to his text message. But just be on the lookout for the Mean Green Podcast. I don't know if we'll have one this weekend because I do got some things going on. But just stay tuned. I think we might try to move it today because I think his schedule changed. So, but yeah, stay tuned. Keep your notifications on. And with that being said, man, you already know. Go Birds, y'all.